Welcome back to another episode of Templars Talks, number 19 this time, and we're back in business. Elvira's here, I'm here.
Woohoo!
Let's see what shows we have been to, because I think we have some catching up to do. I think I can start, because mine is probably the oldest by now. I went to see the Gallows Hill Blackfest in Doetinchem. And there were like a bunch of black metal bands playing there. I'll keep it short because it's been a while ago, and I think you could have seen the pictures already on the website. I've seen let's see, like 7 bands. Yeah, 7, and the first band was Seratin. Quite a starter. What was interesting is that they didn't have a drummer. So for black metal to not bring a drummer, it means that there must be some impact to follow up on. I mean, if you want to impress some audience.
Did they have like a digital track with drumming?
I don't know. I didn't check what they were doing. They were mainly like bringing a lot of rage from the guitars. I think that was the main thing that stood out to me. I also didn't see the entire set because I came in a little bit later. But yeah, I thought it was remarkable for a band to start with this day. Second was Razernij. Also quite, I think they have not released anything yet, if I remember correctly. I like the way they present themselves. It's more like the stereotypical black metal feel with it. So I think in future I will definitely like to check them out again to see what they are going through. Novelization was next, and I thought they were really they don't have that stereotypical black metal feel over them. If you look at them, I mean, I think people saw the pictures that I posted. You wouldn't immediately think, oh, that's a black metal band. And I think that's what they think about themselves as well, because they thought they needed to put my pictures in black and white, because then they look more black metal.
More metal. Black metal needs black and white.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I have my opinion about that, but do it, please, man. Oh my god. If that's the way you need to build your image, good luck with that. Nevertheless, I think whatever they were doing was interesting enough for me to keep watching it. I don't think they were gaining that much attention from the audience whatsoever. Like, people were taking it a bit from a distance. And that was totally different with Grafjammer. Grafjammer is a band from the Netherlands also, and they waved the last couple of years. I think I have this one EP from them that I quite repeatedly listened in my car back then. They played actually, I think, a couple songs from that. They were more like raw. Like that raw energy that I really like when I see one of these black metal bands. I don't know. It's not like the typical face paint Norwegian black, but it's really like they have that no nonsense on them. You know, I like that with them. They were followed by Heretic. I checked the last time I wrote something about Heretic was in 2010, and they didn't really have that much going on in between. I think they did some shows, but not really a lot of releases. They have released that album in 2010 as an anniversary album or something to celebrate their existence or something like that. So you can imagine that we're now 14 years further down the road. They have quite some history on them. That brings in a lot of the people who followed this band for a long time were madly crazy about what they do, and they go like make mosh pits, go crazy headbanging and stuff. And you, as a listener, you're looking at it like, but this is kind of basic stuff. It's cool, but it doesn't stand out that much.
That much?
From other bands that I've seen doing this kind of stuff. But it's cool, I guess, to have a little bit of history along, and it's they're playing nice, but it just doesn't like surprise me, or like there's so many bands doing this kind of stuff that I would like to remember a band for doing what they're doing, and they just didn't have that vibe, like. But it was good for the audience participation, so to say. So they were definitely one of the main things there today. After that, Whiskey Ritual, well, I can't really recall much about them. That says everything, I guess. And the last band on the evening was Hello. And I like them a lot. They have also a bit more that melancholic feel to it. I don't know, that's dramatic touch to their music. They performed really well. It was almost as if the singer was standing in between the audience for some reason, which definitely added something to the atmosphere there. Yeah, this band knows what they're doing, and I think we've seen them before. You've seen them, I've seen them. They're just much more a band that I kind of like. They're kind of the music that I would listen to if I have some spare time. So yeah, they were definitely the headliner for me. Other than they were also headliner of the festival, but yeah, that concluded a nice evening with a lot of different variations of black. So yeah, good. That was that. Short.
Sounds nice. We can do that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't have to like repeat everything over and over again. Of course. So your turn.
Yeah, I'm thinking, did I went to anything else? But I can only think of what's the name of the tour? I don't know. Something over the north. Something raging over the north. But it was Soilwork, In Flames, and Arch Enemy. They played in the Brabanthalle in the Netherlands. Large space, not too large if you see the rest of the venues where they play the whole show, the tour. I think for them it was a rather small show. For me personally, I have to say, when I'm at gigs, I don't think I actually hear the music when I'm in the photo pit taking photos. I'm so busy with the band on stage, the lights, what I see in my camera, that I hear the music, but I don't know. I don't register. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't fall through. So don't ask me after a gig. Never ask me which songs they played, because I'm a lousy person when it comes to names of songs.
Don't worry, that's why Setlist FM exists, right?
I know, but still, I think I don't really like Arch Enemy. That's a personal thing, of course. I think they have a large following. They're the headliner of this tour. I don't know why I don't. It's not. I don't know why I don't like them. It's just, maybe it's that to me the songs sounds a little bit much the same after 3 songs.
Yeah.
But I really did like Soilwork and In Flames. Soilwork, I don't know, I've known them since, I don't know, we started with Templores. They played in my local venue.
How many times have we seen them together in your venue, you know? So I've been there quite a couple times to see them.
Yeah, and actually they played there 3 times. I looked it up. And one time I was in Finland, but I think you were there and I was in Finland. But so I think I've only seen them twice in my venue. I might even kick them on stage at one of those. But I think it's since 2006 or something we've seen them. They're still strong as ever. They were really good.
And that's nice to hear, because if I go through history, especially on the larger states, it's always a bit of a gamble, especially on the vocal side. Even though I know that Björn is really good in what he does, it doesn't always come out as the way it could be. So
I think it even came out.
Couple of years, I think his success rate is much higher. When I
he sounded really like. It's a weird thing to say, but it's like the voice matured a little bit more.
Yeah,
it's a strange way to say, like a good whiskey, maybe. That was, he still has the nice clean parts, but still there's enough rawness to it that makes it interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think he also, I mean, if know the rumors and such, that he takes a more professional approach to touring. So know when to stop drinking and partying on time to rest the vocals a bit for the next day.
Yeah, but the rest of the band was it was not only him, of course. It was the whole band that worked really, really well. I always liked the guitarist, the one with short whitish hair. I don't know names. Sorry. But the whole band was great. The sound was really good as well. I stood in front of the stage in the photo pit, but I also stood in the back on the left side and on the right side. So I've been everywhere, so to say, and the sound was good everywhere. So nice. Yeah, props to their sound guy. And then In Flames, I don't think I've seen In Flames many times.
Yeah, maybe this was actually sometimes in usually headlining in festivals.
I can't remember, but
I like their music live a lot, but
me too.
Twice, meh.
Yeah, it's more about the music. It's not a show. I mean,
yeah.
They had the risers up, and the singer is standing on the vocalist is standing on the risers and walking from left to right and just doing his thing. But I really like it. They know how to. I think their music. You know when it's In Flames. You know there's something different about them. And you can't say it's the clean with the raw, harsh scream vocals, because there are many more bands that do the same. But still, there's something in the way they approach the melodicness of the music and the vocal. I don't know. You always know when it's In Flames.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, both Soilwork and In Flames are like kind of on the cradle of the Swedish death, you know. They've always been like, especially In Flames, I think. In Flames and At the Gates, they're like those bands who kind of defined the genre a bit. Mm-hmm. So I think it's always great when they do their thing, because they have been so iconic for a whole genre. That's why I guess I always enjoy seeing them, even though I just don't. Watching them is for me a bit boring, but listening to them, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Arch Enemy, good show, entertaining show. They had these really big balloons. I think they gave their all. It's it is remarkable what kind of sound comes out of this little girly woman.
Yeah.
That is remarkable. I mean, but yeah.
I don't know.
Good show. I think it's just not my cup of tea, so to say.
No, I think I like.
So I find it hard to say anything about them.
Yeah, I think I liked Arch Enemy better when they were still with Angela, and that's sad because I know they're doing so well now and such, and you should not look back to it that much to compare the two. I don't think that's completely fair, but for me, it's my personal preference that I liked Angela a bit more in her style and such. Other than Alyssa, and yeah, that I guess they're having the greatest success they are now, and that's good. But yeah, not everyone has the same taste, so yeah,
that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. All right.
So that was my live performance the last weeks. I think I don't think I saw anything else.
Yeah, I went to a small festival. Well, actually, it's a big festival with different editions in different towns. But for me, it was a small evening because, I mean, it's called popronde, meaning mainly pop music, but from all kind of genres, but usually not so much metal. So on the metal side, I don't really have anything to report. But there was some more alternative into it. I saw the band Sonic Whip. They were impressive enough. That's one of the bands that I think that can grow. Yeah, I didn't see the whole set. Name. I didn't see the whole set. Yeah, it's also a festival, by the way, called Sonic Whip. But yeah, it's like I think I will hear more from them soon. But for now, I mean, they're still not super close to metal. So I think that was maybe the closest I've seen to metal this evening. That's so. However, I do want to mention and give a little shout out to this. I think it's a project of the girl herself, not so much a band, called Loon. It's basically pop, but yeah, she performs in a very international way. I think if she gets opportunity to play in large stages and build a whole show around it, she's could be doing great productions. I can see her doing Lady Gaga kind of shows.
Wow.
To that, not that she's at that level now, but
no.
I think
But
she has
I know
the potential to grow
but,
into that. You know. It has something to do with the way she creatively works with her vocals. Also, that her sound is a bit, I guess, different from the typical standard girl that you see at those kind of events. So yeah, that's one that I remembered, and I still want to give a little bit of a shout out for doing that, even though it's not so much metal. So good. Albums. Have we been listening to albums? Well, not to the same, I guess. I've been listening to this album from Gaerea, a black metal band from Portugal, and I thought I want to share a little bit about that. I think the previous album they released got received very well, and when I saw them live, I felt a bit like, okay, I get where the hype is coming from, but I need to dig into it a little bit more. So as soon as that album dropped into my inbox, I was like, okay, let's have a look at that. The album is called Coma, and it got out a couple days ago at the 25th of October. It's with Season of Mist, so that makes sense. A good label behind them to promote them properly. They did have a little bit of a new lineup in their bands since the last album. I think they had a new guitarist, and the old guitarist also, he's still doing the lead guitars, but also pick up the vocals for the band now. So it's a bit different dynamic. But I guess in the composing way, you can still very much see that they stuck with what people know from them. Yeah, I like the way that they can combine very calm moments with utter rage. Like they have the album opens with a little intro song that's really calm, has some spoken words, and then you go straight towards a track that goes into full rage. You know, that's such a change over, but it feels quite natural. Not every band can do that, so I really like that. I think one of the songs that stood out to me on this release is called Suspended. Here also, the way they combine the melodics with the full reach they have, and the aggression that they put in that vocal part specifically is brought in a very comprehensive way. It's not like bit deaf, Black and Deaf or something. It's they really seem to have some inspiration from maybe a bit more technical genres like progressive. Even though you don't hear that directly, I can see that they take it a bit more technical, and I kind of like that. So this song also has a sort of break in the middle where they go like super calm, and you have more like very clear vocals, and then they go back to that full rage in the end of the track. I'm like, yes, perfect. They
nice.
know how to create a wave in there, and not have it being like I don't know, chopped off or something. It's really organically shaped. So I think it's an excellent release. I will have to write out my thoughts about it on paper at some point if time allows me to do so. That's a bit of an issue. But yeah, I know.
Live.
I will try. Live. Something about preparations for the Christmas season and other things in life.
I know. That's why I haven't been listening to a lot of albums myself.
Yeah.
And
but
a little technical problem. But well, maybe I can share one I've listened to. I think I'm not sure when the album came out. I think last week or the week before. It's a Cemetary Skyline. It's like yeah. It's a mix-up from a couple of guys from the north. I think they got together during the pandemic. They found each other. So it's what is it? The drummer from Sentence, the keyboard from Amorphis, Marcus Vanala from Insomnium, the vocal Michael is from, of course, the Halo Effect and Dark Tranquility. And then we have the bass player from Dimmy Borgir. So there's a bunch of guys from the north mixed up together. Apparently they share a love for gothic rock from the 80s and 90s. And they thought, let's make a new album. Let's form something. Let's just, jam a little bit away.
I understood it's one of the bands that came out of the hands of Vesalanta after he decided he wanted to go back into music again. So yeah, I've been following him on the Facebook, of course, and I've seen him write about when he started the band. So I remember that during the pandemic, they were that he at some point decided that he wanted to go back with the music more. And this band is one of the bands that he's now involved with.
Yeah, I think it's a very catchy album. You definitely hear the influences from the 80s. It has a nice gothic feel to it. I think you have to think about him a little bit. I hear that in there somewhere. The songs are really catchy. Some of them keep stuck in my head all day. I think you do hear the melodic influences from Marcus and Santeri. Definitely, I think. And there's some nice bass lines in it. But I like to see it live. I don't think it's the best album ever from Gothic whatever. It's just a nice album. And it's very enjoyable, I have to say. But it's not something really new or something that truly blows you away. But it's decent, it's good, it's enjoyable, and sometimes you just need that. I do think it's a perfect album for this kind of year. When you just want to have a nice something to listen to.
Yeah. True. I think for me also what holds me back in liking them too much is also the realization that this is not a band that's ever going to be the first priority of the band members.
No. I think it was actually never meant as an album as a band that was going to do gigs. I think it was more like a project during pandemic to enjoy themselves and make an album and not tour. Maybe I don't know, make money, whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty much said online in the statement of Mr. Ranta back then.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But that's one guy of the rest of the band. I don't know if all the others are in it for the exact same reasons as you mentioned. But it was never a band, I think, that was about to perform live. And now they're doing that, so I don't know, maybe they enjoy it themselves as well, I don't know. But that's the album. Give it a spin if you like Gothic music. It won't disappoint you, but it's also not the best you've ever heard.
No, I think it's definitely one of those albums that people will give a couple spins, but it's not like groundbreaking whatsoever. All right. That's one of them that we've been listening to. I think for now we keep it at that, and we can look at what the news brought. Bring in the juice and spill the tea, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I cannot go around the topic of As I Lay Dying.
Yeah.
Hot news. I mean, I was supposed to interview the band. I got an email with the request a couple of times. They were kind of pushy. I was like, who knows? I'm all about second chances when it comes to that. I mean, for context, who don't know it, Tim from As I Lay Dying was sentenced to jail for hiring a hitman on his estranged wife, apparently. So
the
that's
story
that. Goes. Well, he got sentenced for it, so they must find him guilty. I guess there must be good evidence that he did such a thing. I don't know. I wasn't there, so. But anyway, I think it's one of those things that now he did his time, and he decided for a second start. Gathered a group of people along, and they recorded an album. Were ready to go on a tour, and shit hit the fan. And just a couple minutes before we started to record this podcast, I decided to check up on their page to see if there's any statement from the band whatsoever. And other than that they were talking about one of the 2019 albums that was sort of a reunion thing that they did, got pulled off streaming service, and of course people were reading into that considering the drama. So they basically addressed the fact that had to do with a 5-year license deal that ended, and now the rights being returned to the band themselves. I assume that's the truth. Let's say it like that. But just the timing of it was kind of unpleasant, I guess. So yeah, now what actually happened? Well, up to today, this 5 band member band, 3 band members and the 2 manager are not currently on this thing anymore. And I tried to sort of create a timeline of it to make a little bit sense out of it. I think the first to quit was Ryan, the bassist. Mm-hmm. In his statements, he didn't really say anything special. And I must say a lot of this research work is not done specifically by me, but by a variety of news websites. So my research
more
is
gathering,
more looking at other people's research, so to say. But yeah. So that one website checked on bassist Ryan Instagram and says he follows still every band member except from Tim. But okay. Then the tour manager quits. At that point he said a statement that later was deleted, but it said he was still positive with Tim. But the tour got cancelled, so that's why he was out of it. And he is still hanging out with the one guitarist, Phil, at that specific time. The original guitarist, I think, that was still with him. So that. Then guitarist Ken quit. Puts in his statement that his morals were tested to a breaking point. And that it was the saddest ending of this second chance for a band that they could have. But he also says that he regrets not to have backed up Ryan, who quit first, sooner. So, I don't know about that, because apparently Ryan got some backlash online from fans for quitting right before the tour or something. Okay, that. Then Nick, the drummer, quit. And in his statement, he said that he needed to distance himself from the band to restrain personal health and integrity. Now, that was interesting. And then there was this whole drama about the wife of Tim. Apparently, there were some rumors out that Tim had been abusing her, that there was some violence involved. Nobody knows whether that is true, but the wife herself posted a statement that it didn't take place and that she was not happy about the fact that nobody even reached out to her to ask whether it's true or not. So that's the last status, I think, that I could follow up to. What exactly is happening, I don't know, but it is a bit sad to see this last minute cancellation of the tour. Yeah, whatever it is, it will not be something light, I feel, considering the way the statements were made. These people all said they knew on forehand what was the drama with Tim, what he was sentenced for and such. They knew that when they joined, so that should not be something of influence. So it must be some new information that has come out. And up to this point, no statement of the band whatsoever, other than in their news message where they addressed the Spotify streaming services issue. They said that they will soon come with a statement, but so far not. I guess we'll just have to wait. Yeah. It's always a pity when a band falls into something like this. It's really nice if they could have gone on tour and redeemed themselves as a band to maximize the second chance that they were having. And it seems that a lot of people were still interested. The tour was not doing that badly, I think, on ticket sales. But yeah. curious to see what's gonna come from that. Now, I guess then I have to go to the next item, and that's something that kind of upsets me a little bit. In a way, Paul Di'Anno died. That's the guy that recorded 2 albums with Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, yes.
I mean, obviously those albums have been sold a gazillion of times by now, even though they're the oldest ones. But, you know, like, people still, like, fans want to complete their collection, you know? So those older albums certainly have sold well enough. And I came to notice Iron Maiden is a metal band, but not unknown for the mainstream world. However, none of the mainstream media bothered to write about it until like 2 days after or something. Well, we were all about this news about this guy from, what was it, One Direction or something that died, and the news was full of that. There were summarizing articles, what do we know about this and what do we know about that. I'm like, I actually wonder who sold more records, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
but
look
it's
at the
pop
career
music. I mean, that's the I don't know. Sadly, that's the thing that gets the news. I mean, metal is still a genre that isn't mainstream, even though Iron Maiden is quite more mainstream. So I don't know.
I mean, when Iron Maiden is playing, it happens that those same kind of websites, news websites, trying to get their press cards in, and therefore taking a spot from metal media, because they want to have something about it. So they only want to do it when it's convenient for them, isn't it?
Of course.
So I felt that was kind of uncalled for. Because I honestly wonder who sold more records, to be honest. But
maybe it's because, well, he wasn't that old, so it's not that the One Direction guy is a younger guy and in the beginning of his life, and then the Iron Maiden guy is an old fart and dies, and, you know, that happens. I think, what was he, 66 or something? 65?
Yeah, 66, I think, something like that.
Yeah. So that's not old. I mean, you know.
It's not an age where you're supposed to die.
No.
So
yes, it's strange. But
is it because the Iron Maiden fans are not crying in front of a hotel, or? I
think so.
Yeah.
There's not huge things happening. Well, in my feed. In my Instagram and in my Facebook feed, there were a lot of people sharing their stories about their first Iron Maiden concert or their first experience with the Anno. And it was kind of funny because I read that he was actually in Be Below at one point.
He was in Doetinchem last year. He played a show.
He was in Be Below. I might even served him a beer.
At the end of the street. No, seriously, less than a year ago, he was at the end of my street. And funny. I didn't go. I didn't go, but...
So, I don't know. Kind of funny when you read those things. Yeah. But it's nice to see that the metal community does care and they shared these stories.
True. That is. But I still think... It bothers me that mainstream media only wants the convenience part when they get to a big concert for free and not share about these kind of things, when for some guy like the One Direction guy that's like
probably doesn't
but multiple articles, like
probably doesn't get enough clicks.
Yeah, I don't know, because
it's also about money, you know, mainstream media.
Post it. If they don't post it, they don't know.
Yeah.
And if you post the news 2 days later, when like all the fans already have been
they already informed. Yes.
Yeah. So nobody cares anymore for
That's
clicking
true.
on your article. because I think you would be surprised how many people would still care when you see a headline about ex Iron Maiden singer died. Like, yeah. In any case, that thing, and that's for me the juiced this time. I don't have any more.
I saw one thing, not big news, but funny news, even about the band that I don't really like. Kind of funny. And maybe you read it too. I have to look up to be correct. Just a second.
I'm curious now but I don't have had a lot of time to spend on the internet this week, so I'm not actively social media nowadays.
So we have this how do you call it? The Efteling. How do you call it? The fair, fun fair. Theme park. So we have the Efteling in the Netherlands. They used to have a spooky theater there, Spookslot. That's closed, and now they're opening up something new. And it's based on Danse Macabre from the French composer Camille Saint-Saëns, if I say that correct. Still French. Our French is not the best. From 1874. He wrote the piece Danse Macabre, and now Epica.
They recorded some music video there, wasn't it?
Yes, they wrote this Danse Macabre song with their juice over it to a new song. Recorded it in the new how do you say it, attraction. So it's they work together to present the new attraction and to honor Danse Macabre, the piece. So I think it was kind of interesting. How that came to, how they found each other. I mean, of course,
I'm not
for
surprised,
something,
because Mark has also been doing all the composing for the national fireworks every year. So I think that kind of helps. Getting in there.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I did see this news coming by, and the first thing I thought was Danse Macabre. I used to love a band called Danse Macabre.
Yeah.
When I was young.
I've seen that band too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was very, very young when they were active.
Or heard it.
But
maybe you let me hear it.
I'm not sure. But I kind of like them. So I was like, what? Are they collaborating now? Or are they coming back?
No.
Because I know most of the musicians are in another band together, and they play quite often in the Netherlands. So I was like, it could be. I could see that happening. But okay. I think actually there's a link with one of the band members and Epica. But I'm not sure. In any case, but that was not what it was about. So eventually, that turned out to be something else. Yeah. But that was something I had to think about. So.
Yeah, funny.
Okay. Well, biggest news, juice, tea, whatever people will want to call that nowadays, is over. I think I want to proceed to let people in on a little bit of a teaser, because I was doing an interview earlier, and that was with the Italian band The Foreshadowing. I mean, of course, I've been talking to that in our previous episodes of it already, because I really like that album, and I have a long time history with this formation. So it was my precious joy to catch up with these guys and talk a little bit about the album. And I think at that point we were talking about how the whole album come together and how they worked with it, because they said that a lot of it was also created during Corona times. We all know that getting together wasn't that easy. So yeah, hear what they have to say about it, and a little bit of a teaser right now.
It's funny because 7 years ago, me, Marco, and Francesco lived in the same street.
Easy.
Yeah.
Now everyone
and now
has
we
to
are
is away.
yeah, and now we are
That's life
far distant.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Now we are far distant each other, so we are more on internet than in person.
Yeah.
Or elsewhere in their rehearsal room, but with new technical stuff, one PC, one audio card in order to record in real time and all the stuff.
Yeah, I must say that anyway, for the final arrangements, we met at Outer Sound Studio with Giuseppe, who is also our producer, apart from the drummer.
All right, so now that was that. I have to say this. They were talking a lot about the songs on this album, and yeah, I think it's just great to see this album coming alive now. They've been working on it for a long time. They found the right partner to distribute it and release it in Life Force Records. I think it's interesting because Life Force Records used to focus more on a different kind of bands, but it's good to see them tagging along. I think it's great, and I hope that will brings them on a tour back to the Netherlands. I've seen them last year, about at the end of last year. So, yeah.
But if they play in Germany, you will go anyway, so...
I've also have the opportunity to go to other countries to see them. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Nice.
But right now, I think that's not their main concern at the moment. They have a couple shows on their list, but people can go check out the current status of their show announcements when they feel like. So, what I want to say about that is the interview will be live on our YouTube channel on November the 7th, around 2.
Nice.
I think I scheduled it. So keep your eyes out and check the interview to hear more ins and outs about this album.
Nice. Interesting as well.
Yes. All right, then it's time to say... what makes us happy again? The Ikigai. You go first this time.
Okay, well, what makes me happy is that I'm going to Eldorado in a couple of weeks. It's on the 16th of November. It's a one-day indoor festival, but I need your guys' help. There's like a lot of bands on one day, and I'm definitely not gonna cover every band. Because then I'm gonna drop that the next day and I have to work the next day, so that's impossible. So I picked a few favorites that I would like to see and I think our readers enjoy as well. But maybe I will let you put one or two choices up for our audience to decide where I should be going. Yeah.
Nice.
So I hope they choose something nice for me. But maybe
that's nice. But I've been very pleased with the choices people were doing for me when I've been going to Tuska like this year and also last year. People like what we like usually. So
and I like to vote for you as well. So I thought this time, I have my couple of favorites. They're all playing later on the day. I do need to eat somewhere as well because I'm alone there. There's like so many bands playing. I'm definitely not going to be able to cover them all. And in the beginning, I'm just not sure. They're not all Dutch bands. There are also some international bands. So I thought maybe it's nice to let our audience choose. So keep an eye on our Instagram and we will put them up for you to choose of course, before the festival takes place.
Yes, I will do that as soon as we have discussed that all. But that will be anytime soon. Keep an eye on our socials, our Instagram for this one, I guess. And then you will see it passing by. Help over.
Yeah, or maybe we will announce it next podcast, because it's the 16th of November, so it's still far away. But
yeah, well, that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Then yeah, we can do. And my ikigai. Well, Christmas is coming, and earlier this week I went out to do a little bit of Christmas video making. I have been going to a very nice location where they were so nice to allow me to film a little bit for our YouTube channel and such, and also for some other purposes for Christmas for me. So I could do that. It was a bit hectic because they didn't want to let me in earlier, so I had to do that while avoiding other customers and all that. But, yeah.
It makes it extra special.
It was interesting, and I got a bit into the mood. I really am ready for it. I bought some decorational items to spice up the whole background situation I had. So that makes me happy. I have something to do in the upcoming months, or let's say a lot to do.
I was thinking something more to do.
Yeah, sort of like that. I'm crazy for even getting myself into it, knowing what else I have going on in life at the moment. A wise person would have said not this year, but I guess I'm not that wise after all.
No.
But hey, I got so much positive feedback last year about all this Christmas videos that we did. And when I was posting up on Instagram whether people wanted to see another series, like 3 of the artists that participated last year followed our stories and voted for yes. So
that's kind of funny. Yeah.
That's pretty cool because not all of them were small bands that I interviewed. So I thought that was quite nice to see. So they really liked that, and I thought, let's go again. And of course, I figured you guys wanted me to do 25 interviews again, so I will have to do that. And so I've been thinking a little bit about the bands I want to interview and what's available. But if you're a band and you have a release out in the end of November, December, or maybe early January, feel free to hit us up and let us know you want to participate in the projects. I'm open for that.
Nice.
Yes. Well, then the playlist. What was on the playlist this time? For me, of course, the foreshadowing. I cannot say any different because obviously I was preparing for the interview, so I had to listen to it a couple times. And oh gosh, I did not mind that because I really like that album. It's gonna score high on my year list, I think. So you will be hearing some more about it. And I was thinking in the beginning of this year, I was talking a lot about Morlocks and how I liked their release and that I went to the show and such. By the way, they will also have a new EP out in a couple days. So also nice for people to check. But this is the foreshadowing is definitely having that same kind of impact for me. So that will be on my playlist for quite some time, I guess. Of course, Gaerea. Obviously, you heard me talking about them before. I listened to their album a couple times. Something new is Tribulation. They have a new, I think is it an EP? Yeah, probably an EP or something coming up. I've been listening to it a couple times on the play in the background. I have to listen to it with a little bit more detail. But I don't know if anyone was aware that they're coming up with something new. So
no.
Yeah, I think people can expect some more about that from Templars. I've been listening to Murk. I've been reviewing their album a while ago, and I just kept listening to it because I really liked it. So a lot of black in my list. And then Blind Ego. They have an EP, the Hunting Party, and it's the thing about this is one of the guys from Blind Ego that is playing also in another band. It's progressive, for people who don't know. And they played in the German RPWL. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But I went to see them live a couple of times back in the days. And I think I was talking with them back then. I did a photo, and the next time I gave them because it was really nice. Then I got it signed, and some people were winning it on our website. So kind of follow this band a bit in the background, but I'm not going to every show or something. So when I got the email about this band, I was like, oh, let's pick it up and see what that's about. To see, whether I would like it. And so far, it's easy listening, good. So good. Yeah, that was it for my playlist. What have you been listening to?
Well, Cemetary Skyline.
Mm-hmm.
Octoploid.
Uh-huh.
You're thinking, you're always listening to that.
No. It's just...
But I've also been listening to Graveyard. They're gonna play at Helderado Festival. I'm looking forward to that. They're not particularly a live band, I think, but I really enjoy listening to them. I've also been listening to Swallow the Sun. They released their newest album, Shining. And the Night Flight Orchestra is going to release a new album on the 31st of January, I think, in the new year. They're not metal, but they're
I think
nice rock. And I'm looking forward to that. So I've been listening in my car to their other music, their other albums. They have quite catchy songs for when you're driving to sing along. So I enjoy that as well.
I think I saw the promo coming by. If I remember correctly. Well, I have to look into that at some point. But I was reading about the new release at least. Cool. Yeah. There they are. It's.
Or the 1st of February is something.
Oh, it's not the promo just yet, but this teaser. Give Us the Moon. January 31st.
Yes.
Yeah. On Napalm Records.
And the day before, they play in Tilburg.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I got a whole list in tour dates, indeed. Starting in Tilburg, going to France, London, Paris.
Yeah, they're flying everywhere.
Lisbon.
Well, not flying, but...
Yeah. Milan, Budapest, Vienna, Munich, Prague. Somewhere in Czech Republic. And then a couple more German dates. So... I think they cover a good part of Western Europe. So...
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so good. What else do we have? Nothing else.
I don't know. Do you have something coming up in the or planned other than 25 interviews?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about one show and maybe festival, even though there's nothing I specifically like there, so I might not do it. I don't really want to go to places just to be there. especially when I'm busy with other stuff at the moment. So maybe skipping on that, but I have maybe one show I want to attend. And yeah, furthermore, I'll just go with the flow a little bit. I don't know. I guess I try to soon start with the recordings for the Christmas special, so I have a little bit more time this time than last year doing things. So yeah, soon I will be asking a lot of people to see if they have any bands that they want to be featured on our show. So let's see.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and I'm also, one thing that I could share a little bit is that I'm working on redesigning the website a little bit. It's I don't know, maybe at some point I'll have a bit of extra time and I will just smash it online just like that.
In the middle of the night, you mean?
I don't know. I'm just gonna be like, okay, this is it. Now it's gonna be live, and people gonna be like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm not gonna make a whole spectacle about it. Like, at this point, we have a new design or a new look, or it's just gonna be there at some point, and then it's gonna be there. So
As a surprise. Yeah.
I kind of have to see when my creative mind has the time for all of that stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, but people can expect that, at least.
Nice. I hope.
And that's it, I guess.
Okay.
So time to close it off. Keep a good eye on our socials, I guess. We've announced a lot of stuff to come live, and a YouTube interview, some voting for Elvira's schedule, announcements or requests for bands to sign up for our interview series. Just keep looking at our socials. I would recommend that. And yeah, you can also always decide to leave us a comment. We read those too. So if you want to share anything with us, feel free to do so. And yeah, that's it. I've only done last thing, and that is bye.
See you.